we are going to start right now. Just for your information, you can ask us some question because we have Gauthier with us. He's working on the chat, so don't hesitate and please ask some question. So let's begin. We are just going to start with the webinar schedule. First, we are going to talk about our MA program at ESPOL. Then we are going to talk about studying in France regarding housing, life in Lille, life on campus. Then we will see how to apply, what are the conditions for the admission, some scholarships, solutions, etc. Then we will have the point of view of our students regarding the master, the courses, the daily life, and the career plans. And then some time for question and answers for you if you have like any doubts and you want to talk with us about it. But first, we are going to talk about our MA program at ESPOL. So we have 4 master's program, one called Multi-Level Governance in Europe, another one called Food Politics and Sustainable Development, another one International and Security Politics, and the last one Digital Governance and Politics. All of our masters are in 2 years. You can apply for the first year and the second year, but we are going to talk about it later. First, we are going to have a really quick presentation of our masters, starting with the Masters in Digital Politics and Governance. The objective, the target of this masters is to understand the politics of the digital. The objective is to examine the way in which digitalization affects states, politics, government, diplomacy, and society. So all of these questions are like really the subject of the master, but we are not going to talk and we are not going to give you more information about it because we have our student and she is going to give you more and more information about it. So let's move on to the next one.
So the next one is Masters in International Security Politics. This is the Masters when you will study geopolitics, war and peacemaking, and also international relations. So this is a master's degree for people who maybe have an interest in working in defense industries, in lobbying, as well as in the army. It's open for all the students coming from bachelor's degree in political science, war studies, war and peace studies. It's really interesting if you're somebody interested in economics point of view of peacekeeping, peacemaking, and geopolitics of the war.
Now we are going to talk about the Masters in Multi-Level Governance. Which is a master, like obviously, which is like about European institution, European Union. It helps you to understand like how European Union works, what is like the history of the European Unions, how the politics working between all the states from the European Union. Like we said, you can apply from a bachelor in political science or something regarding European studies. I don't know if you wanted to add something.
So this is a master for people who are passionate about European politics, European governance. If you're maybe wondering about working for European Parliament or for one of the satellites of European institution in Brussels or in Strasbourg or in your home country, this is a master's for you.
And let's move on to the next masters. Olivia, I'll let you present it.
So this is one of our first master's degree, Food and Sustainable Development. This is for students interested in working maybe for food industry, interested in food security, in all the issues related to agriculture, food. You have classes regarding sustainable development, of course, but as well as about the history of agriculture, of development of food, and all the common and future issues with food that the earth will face.
So let's move on to the part studying in France. As you could see, we just wanted to give you some overview about the masters because our students are going to talk more and more about like the courses, the daily life as a student. So first we wanted to talk about studying in France and what were our solution for accommodation. Olivia, let's just talk about our scene.
So ESPOL is a school of Catholic University of Lille. We are based in the northern France, half an hour from Brussels, 1 hour from Paris, and 1 hour and a half from London. So this is a perfect location if you're coming from abroad and you would like to study in France, but also discover other countries in Europe. Our campus offers 1,200 rooms, which can be booked starting from spring 2024. You can book it even though you're not yet admitted. The rooms are available on the website. We will send you all the infos after this webinar, so you'll have all the insight about the rooms and the housing. This city of Lille, it's a really beautiful, a flat city, so you can walk around, you can bike everywhere, and there are 5 huge universities, so the city is really a young city filled with students from all over the world. We offer on our campus as well sports equipment. We have as well 7 restaurants for students. We are in France, so there are some standards about food to be respected. So you will really enjoy your life in Lille because it's a big, small city, so it's easy to live and easy to visit other countries all around.
Thank you, Oliva, for this quick presentation. Now we are going to move to some part like really interested you, which is how to apply and all the information regarding the admission.
So if you're a student from European Union, you apply directly on our website. The application will open in the beginning of February. What we ask you is to have a bachelor's degree from social sciences, law studies, economics, all the studies related to political science, international relations, law or economics. Then we ask you for all your transcripts for all the 3 years of undergraduate degree. From some countries like Spain, it's 4 years, so we ask you for the 4 years of transcript. Then a cover letter in English, when you can explain to us your professional project or your research project, if you would like to work on the research side after your master's degree. Then the 2 academic reference from your professors from your current university. And the language certificate, English proficiency, if you're not a native speaker in English or you didn't study in English during your bachelor's degree. If you're coming outside from European Union, the easiest way to apply is through Campus France, which is a French state website where you apply, and then it's easier for you to get a visa because it's a French government and French embassies in the countries where the Campus France is present, where you can apply and then apply at the same time for the visa. Regarding the funding and scholarships, we offer a scholarship for ESPOL students for the first year of the master's degree. It's between 1,000 and 2,000 euro, which are deductible from your tuition fees. And then I invite you to contact the Campus France or the French embassy of your country to check the scholarships possibilities. You will find as well the list of the scholarships present on our website. If you go to our page admissions, you will find all the possibilities all around the world. The tuition fees, Kevin?
What about the tuition fees? That's a real question. The tuition fees are a range in the Catholic University of Lille, a range between 3,000 and 12,000. You can have an estimate on our website on the admission part, and you will just have to enter your household income and you will have more information about the tuition fees for you. So I think we're done. We present a lot. We talked a lot. Let's place to our students. And first, we are going to welcome Irene, who is going to present the Masters in Digital Politics and Governance. Hi, Irene. How are you?
Hello. Thank you for inviting me. I'm doing very well, and I hope that you do too, everyone here. So my name is Irene, and I'm in the first year of Master of Digital Politics and Governance. I'm actually the class representative, so I'm very honored to speak to prospective students. Just to introduce a little bit about myself, I come from Taiwan. I studied at the French high school there. And then after my graduation, I came to ESPOL to study international relations in bachelor. And then this year, I decided to still stay at ESPOL and further my studies in digital politics and governance because I thought that it was a really good option and career path to really understand current events and how digital tools will shape politics, but also like global governance. And we are in a very small class, which is really nice so that people get to know each other. It's very international. I have friends coming from Turkey to Japan or other countries like Lebanon. So it's really nice. Like the class feeling and ambience is really nice. Just to give you some insight about the courses we have Introduction to Digital Democracy. So I think that this is a very important one as it gives us a lot of basic knowledge about how we can use internet to build a stronger democracy, like iVoting. So I find this very to have a very innovative approach of politics. And also, we also talk about fake news a lot, how artificial intelligence can be used as a tool to propagate news that are not true, and also, but generally speaking, it's a very interesting course to give you a good insight about digital democracy. And I'm going to talk about maybe like very quickly two other subjects that are my favorites. So one is cyber diplomacy, where we talk about global governance and such as UN and agencies and big tech companies, how they shape today's dynamics. And the other one is more about methods. That's where we use a lot of softwares, but just to give us like basic knowledge about how we can use softwares and to conduct some research. It's a little bit challenging, but it's also very refreshing because I've never taken courses like this, so I found it very interesting to find this in my program. And we also have a lot of career options, of course, with alumni coming over and talk about their professional life in tech sectors. So we had people from Microsoft and governmental agencies who work in the sector, in the tech sector. So yeah, I'm very happy about my first semester. I hope that I will be just as happy for the following ones. I'm very excited to be able to go to a study trip as well. And part of this program is about also going to Estonia. So I'm very happy about what I pursued so far. And as for a daily life in Lille, Oliwia and Kevin just talked about how Lille is such a wonderful city to walk around. I just walked so much today. So I went to the, right now, what's really interesting in Lille is probably the Christmas markets, very, very beautiful. And we can also go to Brussels very easily or other little cities in Belgium and maybe a day trip or a weekend there. So I really like Lille so much that I choose to stay 2 more years. And if you have any questions, please feel free and I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruben. Let's move on to the next one, Caroline Wintenberg, who is going to represent and present you the Masters in International and Security Politics. Caroline, are you here? Yeah, perfect.
I am here. Can you see and hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect, great. Well, thank you, Irene, for that. I think I can relate to much of it, although we're doing different master degrees. I'm originally from Denmark, and I have a background in international relations with a specific focus on security politics and foreign policy. And this was entirely in English, just like the master here at ESPOL, but we didn't have an international community. And that is something that I really looked for. And it was fantastic coming here to ESPOL there is no Danes here. There is only one other Scandinavian, and it's been fantastic to learn and hear different backgrounds and interact with people from all over Europe and the world. But the master degree in international and security politics, it provides strong theoretical and conceptual insights on topics that ranges from migration to defense policies. And we, as a program, are very interested in the state and understanding actors within the state, outside the state, between states, and the overall conceptual understanding of the state and actors in relation to, for example, failed states or geopolitical tensions. And I have found it incredibly giving in being exposed to new critical approaches in understanding our modern international and, in general, asking the questions that people either do not ask or dare to ask or have not asked yet in international forums. So having a classroom setting where everybody can ask questions without feeling these are the wrong questions or we can't ask it because they're heavy questions, there's no such thing. So that has been extremely giving in keeping to think about what is surrounding us, what's going on in terms of international security politics. And what is great about this program is that you get to be informed on various topics, but are also able to translate what you're taught in class onto your specific interests. So that sort of creates a great foundation for your peers to discuss different domains of interest, but all linking it to the materials provided in class. So, for example, my interest is in space law and space politics, which is, it seems so weird, but I can relate that to so many things on a European as well as a global level with my peers that are interested in other topics, because my topic or interest is related to so many other things like migration or military stuff like that. And the program is also structured in a way that you get to interact with the other master programs in optional courses, which I find extremely not just giving and interesting, but also extremely fun, because you get different perspectives from these different programs. And we're able to get other insights and share ideas from an international security perspective in class and in discussion and projects. And I think that is super and incredibly valuable. And the day-to-day life at ESPOL is, in my perspective, compared to my academic background from my bachelor's, entirely different. So in class, it is not a lecture per se where you sit and listen. This is only for international security politics. I can't speak for the others, but you don't sit and listen for an hour and 30 minutes where nobody interacts. The courses are designed to have class discussions, class debates, and in general, all the courses include students as much as possible. So this is something I find super giving with talking with other people in your class, your peers, and it makes it more fun to go to school for 2 years. And the life in general here in Lille is incredible because it's such a great student city and you're surrounded by students wherever you are. ESPOL is located in the university district, as I like to call it. So there is super easy access to everything. And if you get lost, just follow a person with a backpack. They are most likely going the same way. And there are a ton of bars and cafes, and it's super cozy all year round. As Irene also said, there is the Christmas market here, but even during the summer and spring, we have the big citadel and we have nice parks that you can walk around in or do runs in. It's super easy to access everything by bike, walking, the metro, buses. The infrastructure is incredible here in Lille. And the surrounding cities as well, I'd like to point out, because if you're just so tired of Lille for some reason, I'm not yet, but if you want to do a weekend trip to Bruges or Ghent, Brussels or Paris, or even a small French city that no one really hears about. They're all within the limits of public transportation, and it's so easy to access for a weekend getaway. I cannot recommend my program enough, and it's the best decision that I've done. So yeah, I think that's the total, and I look forward to your questions if you have any. Don't hesitate at all.
Thank you, Caroline. What a wonderful speech. Yeah, about Lille, about the school. Perfect. Thank you. Let's now move on with Joanne, who is going to present the Master's Multi-Level Governance in Europe. Joanne, are you here? Yeah.
Yes. We see you.
I think we have like some problem.
Maybe with the internet and with your sound. Now your sound is on.
We cannot hear you yet. Don't worry. Maybe Ines, if you are there, we can start with the presentation of the Master of Food and Sustainable Development.
Ines just arrived.
Yeah.
Ines, if you hear us, please let us know so we can talk about the food politics. Unless Joanne is back. No, Ines, she's there. Perfect, Ines. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Thank
Sorry
you.
for the late.
No problem, Ines. If you could tell the participants some of your insight about your master's degree in food politics and sustainable development, and in general or about the courses, life in Lille, or whatever insight you think it's useful for future students.
Yeah, thank you, Olivia. So I can say about this master degree that, yeah, as it is mentioned in our syllabus, that it's the food. So it's about food politics in general, but also other aspects, because it's really a matter very linked to other politics. So to, of course, environmental one, economic one, and social one. And so it's a very like varied think and it very opened my mind because there is different aspects you can see in this master program. And so for instance we have the rural and rural politics. So we can see how in developing countries you can so really focus on food, and how as European countries we can help those countries. We have the EU food course, which is presented by our president of the master, Sabine Welland. And we have also other courses. I took, for example, agriculture in practice, because it's a course very concrete, and we visited a farm in Pas-de-Calais, so in the north, and it was very interesting because we can see how the sustainability in a farm is really important, and how we can use, for example, renewable energies to sustain our resources. So yeah, and also I have, of course, an English course because I am French, but I know that the international students have the French course, and that's it. If you have any questions, or if I can develop more on aspects, I don't know.
Thank you. No, Ines, it was perfect. Maybe later we are going to have some question.
Mhm.
We are just going to try again with Joanne. Let's see if it's working now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
perfect.
thank
Yes.
you.
Okay, great. I don't know what happened, but sorry. Yes, my name is Yuan, and I am attending the Multi-Level Governance in Europe program. And I am from Norway, so I'm the second Scandinavian that Caroline was talking about earlier. And it was also in Norway that I did my bachelor's program in European Studies with German. So I have a background in European Studies, but with Germany as a focus. So that's why ESPOL was very attractive to me, because it's located in France, and Germany and France is like the two key players when it comes to like European politics. And it's really interesting to continue specializing in like EU and EU policies through this program. So although we're from very different backgrounds, academic backgrounds in this program, you can still learn a lot of new things about how European institutions work, how they kind of like interact with each other and other international institutions. And we actually have a very interesting course this semester about international organizations and their influence on European policies, where it's more theoretical, but with very interesting cases on how, for example, the UN or different agencies kind of like try to influence member states or more national states. And it also, like that was mentioned previously, there's also included very many cool like field trips. And I think this is where the ESPOL location is very, very useful, because it's so close to Brussels without being directly in Brussels. And we had this field trip going to Brussels to have like this lobby guided tour. So I feel like we very much gets the inside from what's happening in Brussels from studying in ESPOL, because most of your professors have some background in studying directly with European policies. So you really get like hands-on the material. And like was mentioned before, it's a very, very international background from all of the students. And since it's like a class-sized kind of lecture style, it's a lot of discussions and there's a lot of room for different opinions. And I think this is very valuable when you have such like diverse students in your program, that you get a lot of different opinions about what should we do with climate change, what should we do with energy, what issues are most relevant today. I think that's very telling in one of our classes that focuses on contemporary issues in Europe. And the professor asked a very easy, simple question: what are the most important issues in Europe right now? And you had so many different answers of what were the most important things, because we come from so many different backgrounds and perspectives. And I really, really love my life here at ESPOL and in Lille. I think it's such a cute, nice city. I have to say, I never heard of Lille before I applied for this program. But it's such a underrated city in France, I think. It has such a nice mix. And I live very close to the school, and I'm surrounded by very many different bakeries. But you have like also this like Belgian mix to it. So it's a very nice French city. And it's such a young, vibrant city where there's a lot of things to do here. But like mentioned a billion times before, it's so many other beautiful cities to visit close to Lille, which I think is a great asset as an international student. So I really, really would recommend this. And oh my God, I have to mention the cafeteria. I know French people, probably this is a standard, but for Norwegian, the cafeteria here is amazing, because I actually get warm meals. So I'm very happy with this program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Johan. So let's move on. Maybe our participants have some questions. It's the time to ask us whatever you would like to know about applying, about living here. We promise you that we didn't, it wasn't on purpose. The students are really happy to live in Lille, which is a great advertisement for us. let us know how we can answer your questions. You can ask them in the chat or on the video, whatever suits you the best. Please, Alexandra, please, you can feel free to ask your question.
Hi, might as well turn on my camera to introduce myself. My name is Alexandra. I wanted to ask you, since I'm specifically interested in the program in international and security politics, what would be the perfect student profile that you're looking for when you're selecting students based on their applications?
Well, we're looking for perfect students like Caroline. So maybe, Caroline, you could tell us more about your background, because you are the perfect fit for the program, if you're still there, Caroline.
I am still here, but I just need to know, is that the question that was just asked, or the question that's in the chat? Was that a double?
I just asked it, like, it's not in the but I can text for you if you want to.
No, okay, but can you repeat the question again, please? Because I was reading the questions in the chat.
Yeah, no worries. So for the program in international and security politics, what would be the perfect student profile that you're looking for when you're selecting students based on their applications?
Right. So first of all, I am not the one looking for it, but I will say that my peers and I have different backgrounds in the sense that we have different interests, come from different countries, come from different degrees. We have had or still have people that had a background in their bachelor's on French literature, believe it or not. And she was really interested in international relations. So her motivation was just to say, what is it that interests me in terms of security in a specific country, in a specific setting. I don't think there's a specific person or background that we're looking for, as long as you have the motivation to do this master program, because it's all about you. So it's not, you're not here to fulfill anybody's goals. You're here to fulfill your own goal. So I came in and I was super interested in foreign policy, but that changed completely with my interest in space that I got from this program as well. So you can also change it as long, again, I can't stress this enough, as long as you're motivated about something and you show that in your cover letter, you'll be fine. Can I ask what you are doing, or what your background is?
My background is I have a double bachelor's degree in political science and international relations and European studies, and also minors in journalism and mass communications.
You'll fit just right in.
Okay,
no problem. No problem at all. Political science, social science, history, communications, they fit all of the programs, really. It's just about your motivation and your interests.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you, Alexandra. Thank you, Caroline. We are just going to answer to Manak, which his question was, what are the job prospects after the Masters in Security, and where are the students placed for internship? Oliwia.
So I will give you some heads up, and then Caroline and the other students can add some details. So our students, as I said in the beginning, it depends on your interest. So like Caroline says, she's more interested in space law, everything related to this question. So Caroline's looking for the internship in this domain. As far for the other students, the former students, our alumni were making internship at the embassies, working for the security at the embassies, for instance, French embassy, Taiwan, American embassy in UK. There were also students who joined the army in France and abroad. There were some other students who were working or started with the internship in Brussels. Often it was Brussels within the NGO, like Small Arms Survey in Geneva, or the lobbying in the lobbying companies in Brussels. So this is most of our students are coming from abroad. As I said before, we have 99% students coming from abroad, because our programs are offered 100% in English. So this is the second question that I'm answering. It's only in English, and you will have French classes, just to enjoy some more French way of living here. So as I said, because our studies are in English, most of our students are coming from abroad, and then they are going home for the internship or to work in their government or parallel government lobbying or societies in their home country. Caroline, if you want to add something, please feel free.
Yes, I'm just going to add, although all the masters are in English, there are also some optional courses in French. And I've only seen two, one semester and the second semester, but there will be some if it is that you want a French optional course, that is possible, though. That's the only thing I want to say.
Perfect, thank you. We also have a question about the tuition from Pierrick, which is it up to 19,000 per semester?
No.
The tuition fees are a range between 3,000 and 12,000. You can have, it's based on your income household. You can have an estimate on our website, but no, it's not 19,000, and
it's per
not
year.
Yeah, it's per year, it's not per semester. We also have another question from Melissa. When does the time to apply begins, and how much time we have to apply?
So the applications opens in the beginning of February, and it will end in the beginning of May. So you have a lot of time to apply. We advise you to prepare your documents in advance, so before the February. So then you have to just click and upload the documents on our website, and then normally you get an answer up to 6 weeks after you applied. So the earlier you apply, the earlier you get the answer. This is the only rule. And maybe this is another question for Caroline. Caroline, again, you're super popular today, as always. So do you see the question, Caroline? I am interested in peace building and conflict resolution, and I want to know how much attention is given to this topic in master's degree in international and security politics.
Yes, thank you for that question. So I know that the courses have been modified slightly from when I started to the newcomers next year, where I believe there is a more specific focus on conflict resolution. Peace building, we have had some lectures on. It's not specifically on peace building. It's combined with other components of failed states, for example, or migration. It really depends, but there's not, if you're asking specifically for a course on conflict resolution and peace building, I don't believe that there is one. But maybe Oliwia can, maybe you can check it out on the website. I'm pretty sure something has changed with that. However, you will get it through other courses, and if you're so interested in it, you can always modify it to what you think is interesting. So all the essays that you're writing, you can combine it with that. I hope that was answer enough.
Thank you, Caroline. Anaïs. Anaïs, if it's a question, please feel free to ask it.
Yes, hello. I was wondering what were the job opportunities after the Masters in Food Politics and Sustainable Development?
So for the food, we have Ines. What do you think you will do after your master's degree, Ines? What is your objective?
I can talk about my background because I didn't do it. So to answer to you, Anaïs, I did my bachelor degree in ESPOL, and I did the European one. So I have a background in European studies, and then I want to study in the energy transition at the European level. So it can, make you like an idea of what are the opportunities then. And I think the internships are very important in ESPOL. If you come to ESPOL in the master program, you have to do an internship of 3 months in the same company. So like to let you have this opportunity of really go in the company, and I will do one in Bell. I don't know if you know this company. It's a company in the food industry, and it's in like La Vache and Babybel, etc. So yeah, and I will do my internship in public affairs. So what are your backgrounds, and what do you want to do exactly, or what are you expecting from this?
No, I was just wondering because I'm also studying European studies, but in Maastricht.
Okay.
I have a background also. I have a minor in sustainable development. And I'm
Mhm.
not sure if I want to like go in this master's or to maybe go in the like master's in multi-level governance in Europe.
Yeah.
So I had another question actually, because how much emphasis is there on like, is there a course on in the like masters in multi-level governance in Europe on climate change, especially like is it like a focus on the
Yeah, there is there is a course in European food and agricultural policy. So in this course, we see, for example, food labels, food like the fisheries policy. So yeah, we see all those policy at the European level.
Okay, thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
just to add some more details about our former students, Anaïs. So we have former students working in public affairs, French governance, for Le Bon Coin, for food lobbying in the good way, the lobbying. It could be both, but in this case it was the right side of the lobby. But there is really a range, because all the master's degree are in international relations and political science. So it's a really slight specialization, of course, and we'll have courses to develop this. But then the jobs are really related to your proper interests. Whatever you would like to do, you can do a food politics or digital democracy or multi-level governance Europe. You will have just the keys necessary to develop your career in the field you would like to pursue your professional life after the master's degree. But I think there is also a lot of jobs that we don't know about yet. So everything is developing right away, and the jobs we have now, they didn't exist 5 years ago or even 3 years ago. And the ones who will come after you finish the master's degree, they are not still available for us because we don't know them yet. So it's really interesting time also to study international relations, political science, and all the social sciences with all the changes going on in the society. Just to answer the question about how to survive in France without really speaking French, which is an interesting question. So it's a tricky question because in France, well, we will not lie to you. Yes, Kevin, we don't lie. There is not many people speaking English in France. However, to buy the baguette and croissant, it will be fine. Then you will have the French classes every week. So it will bring you to a level where you can communicate on a basic level with French people. And then within your master's degree, everybody's speaking English, your professors, the administrative staff, and all your fellow students. So it should be fine.
Yeah, and we can also say that if you are like looking for a job, we can also see like there are like a lot of international companies in Lille or in Paris, but in a lot of places in France. So you can also like talk in English in your job daily life. So it's not really a problem. Like Oliwia said, it's okay if when you are going to the supermarkets, you are just going to have to ask for like baguette and stuff like that. But on your job and your daily life, you will be fine talking English and just speaking English.
And we have a question for Irene. What would be the ideal internship or job after the digital democracy degree? What do you think, Irene? What is your dream job?
I think it really all depends of the area you want to focus on. For example, me, I would like to work in a think tank focusing on the the topic of artificial intelligence. I know that other peers, they would want maybe to do to have an experience in tech companies like Microsoft or Apple. So there are a lot of things you could get from this master, and just to deepen your understanding and your theoretical foundations to find your ideal job. So I don't know really about the ideal internships, but what I can tell you about is that Lille is really a strategic location, because every year we do have a lot of forums, like a lot of big scale events. So you can meet a lot of people. For instance, we have a famous forum that's on cybersecurity. So it's at Lille Grand Palais. So I went there a few times, and I meet so many people from different sectors, either public or private. We also have I think the largest tech Euratechnologie that's really nearby. So you can really get around and see and meet people. So you can, I wouldn't say you can easily get internship, because there's always multiple challenge about that. But if there's a lot of opportunities that you can try. And yeah, as for myself, before this master, I had an experience, an internship at the French Ministry of Education. So if that's something that you can be interested in, I could channel you with people there. But we also have a lot of alumni who work in tech sector. And also, like, we have a subject that's called Digital Politics in Practice. So the concept of this subject is that every week we would have alumni to come and present their experience. So if there's one or several alumni experience that interests you, you can contact them. So yeah, that's my insight from my master.
Thank you so much, Irene. There was another question in the chat about, is it possible to find an internship where we are a foreigner in France? It is, but as we said before, in this case, if you don't speak French, the best way would be to find an internship in a bigger company or an NGO in Paris or in one of the biggest cities in order to speak only English, because else in France, as in all the countries, you should speak a bit of French if you would like to work in France. Do you have any more questions that we could answer you? Everybody will receive after the presentation, and we have a question. Is digital and innovative literacy really required for digital politics and governance? It is not, but Irene will tell you more.
Well, it is not. It's my case, but it may be not the case for my peers. We have people who just come from different fields and area, and they're just really motivated to learn more about digital and innovative politics. So I have a friend coming from a journalism area, and as actually every field is somehow connected to digital politics, there's actually no specific pre-requirements to enter this master. It is actually through this master that you're going to gain a lot of maybe skills or knowledge. And yeah, I'm very happy to be able to really deepen my interest, but I'm also very happy to get to know other things that I wasn't really prepared. Like, for example, I did a presentation on ChatGPT, and I was completely like mesmerized by how it was kind of easy to understand the basic of it because of this master degree. Like, this master was really conceived to give you the keys to understand what you're the most interested in. So I would say that you're not really required to have a literacy, but just focus on your interest and connect it with this master.
Thank you so much, Irene. Is there any other questions? else?
Anais. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I have another one.
No problem.
But it's not concerning you, Ines, for your masters. It's more for the UN's masters, so the masters in multi-level governance in Europe. Are there any like courses or specialization available for climate change, or like people interested in that field? Like, would it be an option for me, for example?
Yes, so a lot of like the other programs is it's very flexible and you can kind of apply whatever you're interested in. Like myself, I'm very interested in climate and energy policy, and I feel like I write essays about this in almost every course. But we do have, I think we had one course last semester that was specifically focused on environmental and climate energy. And also this semester, that's been an elective course where you can learn about the European Green Deal. And I actually ended up not picking it because I've kind of had climate policy in every single course up until now. So I wanted to learn about something else. But it's definitely, it's very contemporary, a lot of the issues we focus on, much more than in my bachelor's. So I think if you come from like a European study background, you probably had like a lot of like integration history and like about institutions. I don't know, but at least I had in my bachelor's. But now I have a lot more like what is very like happening right now in Europe. So energy and climate is very like a priority in this master's, I think.
Okay, thank you. That's good to know. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anais and Yuan. Is there any other question? Alexandra, please go ahead, Alexandra.
Yeah, so my question is a bit more specific. So within the within the security politics program, are there any courses that focus on the topic of information warfare, influence operations, and other like similar malign operations, for example, Russian disinformation or domestic disinformation operations? Because this is what I based my senior thesis on, and I would very much like to continue studying in the same vein, or at least have the opportunity to explore the topic further in a dissertation.
Caroline, she's there. Yes.
Yes. So yes, there is stuff on that, but again, it's not specifically for a whole course. It's within a lecture, and it's not specifically on countries per se, but it's more the general conceptual theoretical understanding of it. And then you can go in the nitty-gritty stuff, the conceptual stuff, if that's what you want. But again, all your interests, it's something that you frame what you want it to be. So you take what you get from the courses and then you frame it and then you do your essays. Of course, I understand that when you have an interest in something, it would be nice to have a specific course on that. But it's not specifically thank God, it's not specifically for a specific course, because you get the different elements of information warfare or intelligence sharing, cyber, nuclear. It's all within the same umbrella of a specific course, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much.
No worries.
And just to add, another perspective is that once you're studying at ESPOL, bachelor's or master's level, but especially master's level, we have conferences offered by our research lab, ESPOL Lab, which offers you a different perspective from researchers all over the world on democracy, security, war, and peacemaking. All the seminars are open to you, especially for master students. It's really interesting. Most of them, it's being held in English. So it's really interesting to exchange with doctorants, PhD or postdoc students from all over the world. So we have a lot of them during at least 6 per semester, which gives you another perspective, more of that you have already for your courses. So this is really something it's really interesting if you would like to have some insight about a specific topic.
Okay, thank you so much.
If I can just add something.
Of course.
To answer you, Alexandra, and also if you have a personal interest in a specific topic, you can speak about it in your final research paper at the end of a Master 2. in ESPOL. Yeah.
So we have liberty when we're choosing the topic of the dissertation and the type of research we want to conduct, whether it's like qualitative or quantitative studies.
Yes, but it has to be like in coherence with your master subject or field, you know. But yeah, there is no really requirements on the topic or the subject. It just has to, you just have to formulate a research question, and then you do all your qualitative and quantitative research on it.
Yes, Caroline. Yes, go ahead, Caroline. Yes.
I also just wanted to add, because I think that was a good point, what Ines made there. But if you choose to go to ESPOL and you choose to go into security politics, it's always welcomed to ask about these things in courses in the class. Again, I'm doing space. There's no course that has nothing to do with space security, law, anything. However, I keep incorporating into different courses that I have because it's interesting for me. So especially what you're doing, you can easily attach that to other or to courses that you will have 100%, and you can even get new perspectives because the professors that I have are super conceptually framed within the things that they do, and you can always draw on the things that you are interested in vis-a-vis the lectures that you have. So don't be afraid to, if you come and you're like, there's nothing on information, you can always frame it to what you wanted.
Okay, thank you so much for your answers.
Thank you very much, Ines, Caroline, and Alexandra. So there's one question from Julius. What is Master 1? What is Master 2? So yes, it's a French way of saying the Master 1. It's the first year of your master's degree, and the Master 2 is the second year of your master's degree. In France, all the masters are lasting 2 years. So you enter with your bachelor's degree for the first year of master's degree. Then you take your exams, you do your papers, and then you enter the second year of master's degree, where you still have papers, courses, and a huge work of the research for your last big paper that you have to present at the end of Master 2, which is the second year of the master's degree. Any other questions before we leave you to your evening, wherever you are? If there are no other questions, we will send you all the presentation to all the participants. So if you have any questions, you can ask and ask us a question, send us an email or call us. Maybe if you had Joanne, Ines, Caroline, and Irene, one word of advice for future students, what it will be now that you are your wisdom of the school, what it will be, what wisdom you would like to tell to them. Ines?
I was just, thinking, I would say that ESPOL in general, like I am in ESPOL since 4 years now, and I would say that it's a very good experience, and you meet people from very various backgrounds, and like for example, in the food politics program, we have students from nutrition backgrounds, so it's very interesting to see. And if you have a nutrition students, you have to take the introduction to political science course, because like in the end, all our master's program have in common the fact that it's related to political science, as in our bachelor's. And in the end, it's a very good experience. And I think I really improved my English also. And it's a very good experience to then go to the professional life. I would say.
Thank you so much.
Maybe
So,
I can follow
yes, go
up
ahead.
with,
Go ahead,
my
Irene.
advice that maybe I think I could talk about like a metaphor, like be a sponge. I sometimes feel like ESPOL is giving me a lot of resources that I'm not targeted at my specific topic of interest, but I always use them to further explore what I really like. For example, I'm very interested in artificial intelligence. We do talk a lot about that during the courses, but I think my advice is mostly about, they give you a lot of things and then you have to really go on your own and to do your own research. And I mean, everything they provide you is very useful and it is for you to further your interest. So I think that's what I like the most about ESPOL is that they give you some frame, like Caroline said, they give you frames and they give you the methods to do things. And then depending on what you really like, you just go and pursue that. So that's my advice. Be a sponge.
Thank you, Irene. Maybe Yoann. Where is Yoann? Who has
Yes.
a
So I kind of want to just build on that and apply that a little bit more career-wise, because there's been a lot of questions like, what can you do? What can you like do career-wise after this master program? And I think since you have so many different backgrounds and also your professors have been doing so many different stuff, it's really opened my mind to what you can do, and it's really up to you to kind of like go out and grab those opportunities and search for it yourself, because at least now I feel like I know 100 or 1,000 more opportunities than I did before my master. So be a sponge when it comes to looking for a career as well.
Thank you so much. And the last but not least, Caroline.
I think my best advice is to bring raincoats. It's raining a lot in Lille. But aside from that, and beside the kidding, just I don't know. I think Johan and Irene really picked up on it. Just be open to everything, and if there is an obstacle, your professors, the administration, they're all there to help you. There is no bad blood. There's so much help at ESPOL, and you never feel alone.
Thank you so much, everybody. So just maybe to highlight the information you need. Application open in February. You will receive the presentation just after. And then all the documents you need are on our website. And maybe I leave Ines answer you the question of Julius in the chat, or you prefer with your mic, whatever suits you the best.
I don't know, like it's never mind to me, but I don't know if Julius hear me. That's just
I think he does.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I hear you. I don't know if you want me to explain a bit more my question, but I was wondering if you, because I feel like all the master are more focused on the EU policies, and since like our food system are global and their issues are also like impacted on a global level, I was wondering if you also tackle like the international policies or the international aspect of it.
Yes, sure. As I said during my presentation, there is another course called Agriculture and Rural Politics, when we see the impacts of food policies in developing countries, especially in Africa, and so that we can see how we can help them, and also how the global south in general can help each other, and like in general we see those relations between them in this course, So there is the course in European food and agricultural policy. When we see the EU food, as I said, there is another course in food in the city, and this course is really interesting because we see both, like in developing and developed countries, how is it possible to find really a way to sustain our food in cities, and how it is articulated within like communities and at each level of the community. So on the governance level, but also in the local ones, how is it articulated? And yeah, that's the three core courses. And then there is like one optional course. So I took the public policy analysis one. So because of course food policies are parts of public policy, and yeah, there is again, so the agriculture and practice in this first semester. That's all the courses. I don't know if I answered to your questions.
Yes, I think you answered to it. And I was quickly also just wondering if, do you know if some students are doing some internship in some UN program like the FAO or the World Food Program, or if it's something that students do, or it's not really in this field?
Yes, it is possible, of course, but yeah, in the end, also the alumni can help you to find an internship in your specific field, because yeah, it can be complicated. But yeah, it's possible. I didn't I discussed with my other classmates, but then like in the end, for now, no one has found something. But yeah, we reflect on that, and yeah, between like energy matters and agri-food ones. So yeah, and also you have to reflect on. Do you want to do an internship in a private or public institution? So yes, in the end, you can do in very different. As it's the matter is that it has to be in an administration, but then you have many possibilities.
If I can just add to that, I know I'm not in food, but I do have friends that are in food in my program, and some of them are doing the FOA. So it is possible. They have done internships over the summer and that. So just so you know, it's possible.
Okay, thank you, Caroline.
Thank you so much, everybody. A big thank you for Caroline, Johan, Ines, and Irene for spending your late hour with us. We hope we answer most of your questions. If we didn't, we are still there. And please feel free to contact us. We will send you the presentation as soon as possible. We hope to see you on our campus in September 2024. Have a great evening and a Merry Christmas in advance. Why not? Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.